and then I never quite know when it goes live.
Okay, oh my God.
So about that menopause. I have
you are legally
Hello, everybody.
You are legally required to donate to Wheel Takes Podcast.
Oh, such a shame.
I really don't know when we came in. I think we're in now. Hi, folks. Welcome to... Oh, we just came in. Perfect timing. Welcome to Wheel Takes, talking about the Grinwell Cup. What's up, everyone? Hi. Oh, so many highs. I love the highs and hellos and hi friendses and mornings and highs and hi alls and a duck. What's up, everybody? Welcome to YouTube with Wheel Takes Podcast and many other wonderful people. This is the Grinwell Cup. It's the finals of this year's Grinwell Cup. And depending on what happens with polls on Twitter next year, maybe the last one on Twitter. So we'll see. If you don't know what
Elon Musk specifically said, fuck the Grinwell Cup.
He really did.
You're having too much fun.
If you don't know what the Grinwell Cup is, I don't know how you found this, but it is a poll that is currently on Twitter. Who knows where it will be in the future, that is dedicated to voting on which character in the Wheel of Time books has the most essence of hotness. Allie, what's that mean?
Well, Gus, I'm so happy you asked, and I did not anticipate this question at all. So, first, it can mean anything that you want. It's any definition of hot. That is the first rule of the Grinwell Cup. There is no set definition of hot. So if it means pants feelings, if it means I want to set them on fire the most, all is valid in the Grinwell Cup. The second thing on our list of rules is don't be creepy.
Yes. This is why we don't talk about the actors.
Which is
why we're talking about the books. Is because we could all wax poetic about how beautiful all the actors in the show are.
They are beautiful, but that is my nightmare.
Get tired of that.
That is my nightmare.
So,
don't do it.
So other than that, at least one of us hasn't finished the books. Zoe, have you finished the books yet? I forget.
Oh, I have not yet.
Hell yes. Okay. What book are you up to right now? I want to make sure that we're still behind you.
I'll give you three guesses, Gus.
8?
9?
Oh, it's Crossroads, isn't it?
Gus, you got it in one.
Yeah,
I am creeping through the Crossroads.
Maybe we'll catch up to you. That would be so cute.
Oh, okay, I know which one is Crossroads. Okay.
I'm increasingly getting nervous that you are gonna catch up to me, and I'm gonna lose whatever edge I have in this world.
That is my new goal, honestly, in life.
It will happen.
Screw all of the other facets of my career. My only goal now is to overtake you in this. I lost to Weaves, so I have to have this.
Right.
So, as Allie is the farthest behind in the books, we're going to keep the spoiler scope for the chat and for our chat and for the YouTube chat to the end of Path of Daggers. And if you're not sure whether something happens in Path of Daggers or later, just don't say it.
Or Google it.
Just be careful.
Google it first. Google.
I'm actually going to Google something right this second.
And I can share with you some of the things that I have experienced of late, so I can give you a general time frame. Fael got kidnapped. That was very exciting for me.
I should mention also that we're going to talk about anything that is spoilery up to the end of book. Just,
my bad.
Just in case you didn't know that. Now you know that.
Now you know.
I had to tell Addison he couldn't watch. Addison was like, "Oh, I'll watch to support you." I'm like, "No."
That is very sweet. Sorry,
not
Addison.
at all. We'll just be friendly for you, Addison. Once he's done with book 8, he could come.
Yeah, and he's not going to do that. So he's not going to do that. Well, he's reading along with the show. So
gotta be a minute.
He's reading book 1 right now.
So in 10 years, when this is my favorite joke is like all these people have all these things that I can't listen to or consume or look at. And I'm like, in 10 years, when I'm done with the books, I will be watching. I'll see all the shit you talked about me in spoiler chat. I'm going to see it all. I'm going to spend I'm going to take 6 months off, get cut off with everything.
I'm expecting a flurry of comments on videos from 3 years ago.
Oh, you are going to hear from me. Let me tell you. I will have thoughts and feelings and opinions.
Yes. Our friendship is over. I disagree with you about this point you made on this.
You're like, That's my favorite thing is when people come into our thing and they like drop a reference to something that happened on our podcast 3 years ago, and I love it. But also when there's no context, I'm like, I do not remember.
We love being reminded.
Things.
So yes, spoilers. End of book 8. Nothing after that.
But yeah, Fael gets kidnapped.
Yes.
Massima and Perrin are going to walk
to Kyrie.
I'm so angry. I would have kick dropped that motherfucker through that way gate so fast. I would have been like, open a way gate right now. Boom! Sparted his ass through the fucking way gate. Absolutely goddamn not. Am I walking when we have the technology to not do so? That is ridiculous. What a ridiculous statement. Okay, third thing. What else happened? I can't remember.
Rand did a bunch of
Ran
stuff.
with Kalendor. I saw that coming before he did it, and I was like, you motherfucker, you better not. You absolutely better not. And then he did it. They never listened to me. So that happened. What else? What else is going on? Matt's still under a wall.
For
Matt's still under a wall.
Yeah. Theoretically, this whole time has been just hanging out.
Elaine got to Camelin.
Elaine got to Camelin, and there will probably be some kind of succession crisis. Nothing good happens to more gays.
Succession? Sorry.
Yeah, that's starting.
Nothing good happens to more gays ever. I know. I'm as shocked as you. She cannot catch a break. It's truly unfortunate.
How many times have you been technically kidnapped, would you say, at this point?
I mean, are we including Talonvor in that number?
I feel like Robin kind of kidnapped her brain. Then Talonvor kind of kidnaps her. Then, like, the White Cloaks kidnap her. Now the Aiel have kidnapped. I mean, this lady's going through it.
It's kind of her thing at this point. It's kind of her, like, brand.
It's her spiel.
Her brand.
Has she been kidnapped more times than her daughter has gotten brain injuries?
Nobody has done anything more times than Elaine has had a closed head injury.
Elaine has had so many head injuries.
Every other book.
Elaine is very lucky she's traveling with Nynaeve. That's
yes, really.
Every other book. So,
and I've got to know, like, are the trachans and head injuries just a common occurrence? Because if so, that explains a lot about both Gallon and Gallon.
That's why Gallon is not traveling with Nynaeve, so he has not had his brain injuries treated.
Speaking of we've been so cruel to a TBI survivor, you guys. Oh God, just tragic. Sorry, Allie, continue.
Speaking of things Gawain related, Bree, you are no longer welcome on this podcast.
I am now mortal enemies with Allie because I might have gotten sick and high on medication and my fever and spent like 24 hours or 48 hours, I don't know how long, trying to convince people to vote for Gowan in one of those polls last time.
It was most of a week, it felt like. It just kept happening.
And
shockingly.
I have never felt so much betrayal. So, Jenny, will you please tell Bree that, since we're not speaking, will you please tell Bree that she's no longer welcome here and that she should exit stage left pursued by a bear?
So this podcast has become like an 80s sitcom bit. Bree, Allie says, we're going to draw a line. We're dividing the podcast into two halves.
Exactly.
You're not allowed to cross over.
Exactly.
So we are thrilled to be joined
today.
No,
wait, one last thing. One last thing before you do the things we're supposed to do.
Go ahead.
Bree, I'm going to declare this publicly. Next year, I said this when we were privately offline, but next year I will be convincing everyone to vote for Talonvor just for your betrayal.
I honestly earned it
for your betrayal,
but we're still gonna fight.
That hurts my soul.
That was vivid.
Good luck making the door opener hot, Allie. I wish you joy.
I am now a Talonvor truther.
So we
Hashtag Talon truth.
To be joined today by some wonderful guests, longtime friends of the podcast. Please let's introduce yourselves. Tell people a little bit about yourselves, and what should the fun thing be, Allie?
Who in your head is the hottest character in the Wheel of Time?
Yes, if you had to pick one, they didn't have to. That's
be in what we've been doing.
Bree, let's start with you. Let's go clockwise.
Oh gosh, I never know what to say to this.
Jenny, let's start with you.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead,
no,
Bree.
go
Sorry.
Okay. My name is Bree. I am just a general bum around the Wheel of Time fandom who convinces other content creators to let me come and talk to them. I am also, when I'm not spending way too much time discussing Wheel of Time on various Discords, an author. I recently finished my Horny Dragon book, which has nothing to do with Randall Thor, even though everybody keeps asking me that. Even if the dragon has multiple girlfriends who are girlfriends, it's very complicated. Whatever. Anyway, I finished that book with much help from the Wheel Takes Discord, who yelled at me to get offline and write my book. And so I'm very appreciative of this community and Twitter of Time, who also yelled at me to get off Twitter and write this book. And so, yeah, I like to write about people falling in love. And I think the hottest person in Wheel of Time. See, this is so hard for me because, like, I feel like it's always
It's
Lan.
Talonvor, isn't it?
Man, it's like in my heart, if I'm honest, like Lan is like the hero. He's the stone-faced sword poet who like made me want to write a bunch of taciturn, grumpy warriors who secretly say unbelievably romantic things to people, even though they have sworn that they are never going to fall in love again and that they are not good for anybody. And, you know, he's my formative baby. I love him. It's
That
so
works.
hot.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Jenny, take it away.
Okay. Well, yes, I am Jenny. I am LezbiNerdy on YouTube. That's where I have my YouTube channel where I talk a lot about the Wheel of Time and also occasionally about other nerdy stuff. I always forget this. I also have a podcast, Tarvalin After Dark. I never remember to mention it, but I'm on that podcast. So along with Nablus and Jess the Amerlin Seat. So it's full spoilers though, so Allie can't listen to us. As far as I'm so sorry,
I can't think of a better place that I would be than After Dark. So.
I know.
I grieve that you can't listen to this podcast, Allie. It's so your shit.
Yes.
I'm so bummed by it. I could not tell you more how bummed I am not to be able to listen to it. It's
One
them
day.
and Queers of Time. Like
I know.
it hurts my whole heart.
Okay, and as for who is the hottest character in the Wheel of Time, I know this shocks people, though I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard me say this a bajillion times. Despite the lesbianity that pervades my being, it is Lan. Lan is the only character. The rest of them are all my friends and my dear.
Rescind your lesbian card.
I just like lesbianity.
Yes.
I do feel like we need a study. The Grinwell Cup has exposed this strange thing. The Sapphics love Lan, man.
Lesbians. They're
We're
lesbians.
lesbians. I am in lesbian with Lan. He is delightful. Last night, someone asked me, said something about Lan. The only person I would let can I swear?
No,
You
fuck
have
no.
to swear.
Okay, the only man who I would let their dick near me, and I was just like, I never thought about his dick. I just kind of wanted to hold me and read me poetry. That's as far as I ever went in my brain with Lan.
That's
Sure.
deeply intimate.
Reading poetry. Is that what the kids call it?
Yes, that's what the kids are calling it. He wasn't reading it into my vagina. He's just reading the poetry. So anyway, that's it. Now that I've just taken us there, please.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
Zoe, follow that up, will you please?
I don't think I can. I'm moved to my core. Like my core that Lan is whispering into. Wow, so happy to be here. Could not be more thrilled. For anyone who doesn't know, I live in England, so it's quite late at night here. So if I say anything stupid, that's why. I'm actually brilliant. It's just the time.
If you say anything stupid, you will be on an island by yourself. None of us have ever said anything stupid.
Never.
before.
Grinwell Cup?
Yeah,
Obviously.
never.
This is an intelligent intellectual exercise.
Yes, I
Definitely
honor
something
the
that shouldn't
exercise.
be taken seriously at all.
And yeah, I'm a writer, actor, playwright. Sometimes I direct things. Currently working on a little one-woman Dracula shindig, which may or may not be going up in a couple months. Stay tuned if you live in Europe. And sometimes I write for money, and sometimes I write for pleasure. And I would love to only write for money one day. I think that's
Friggin' valid.
that's my career breakdown. And I know Ali and Gus from our time at uni together.
Yep.
And I would say
Look
I
at you.
came to Wheel of Time in high school, really loved it. For anyone who hasn't heard this from me before, kind of lost the thread for a while and then came back to it a couple years ago. I had, not to get like deep and dark on the Grinwell Cup, but I had a friend who was dealing with a health crisis. So I was spending a lot of time in hospitals, and spoiler alert, she's fine now. But I needed something that I could sit and listen to and be absorbed in that would really like get me through some dark, dark days. And I was like, I remember this kind of like sexy book about a dragon. It was not Bree's book, unfortunately, because it had not been written yet. And I got back into Wheel of Time and just fell absolutely head over heels in love with it, and started in with the audiobooks and have been on that path for 2 years now, which is a long time. But there's a lot of audiobook to get through.
Yes,
And as I talked to Gus about this last time, I've been stalling a little bit, and I've been strongly considering getting back to like textual books.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Why have you been stalling? Why?
I don't know. I'm in a very gripping
On book 10?
Why are you not slogging through?
Everybody's walking. Everyone's
So
walking everywhere.
Crossroads of Twilight is the book I quit on originally. So
that is actually very comforting to me, because
I walked away for 10 years.
Before we came on here, I was like, Gus was like, where are you at? And I was like, I bet you can guess. I bet you can get it in one guess.
It's a grind. One.
Book. It is a book that was written.
Yeah.
Precisely that, Jenny. So I would say I was also going to say Lan, and I then was like, oh, I can't also say Lan. And then I'm like, actually, I think it's cute.
You totally can.
Say Lan. Lan was one of my first like fanfic entryways, was reading like Lan and Nynaeve stuff. So
Perfect.
Wait, I wonder if it's the same one, because
I mean, this was years ago, so I could not be sure.
because I've read one that is fire that I will send you.
I have never read any Lan and Nynaeve fanfic. I have to pursue.
It's so good. Like, it's honestly ridiculously good, and like it makes me angry that this scene was not in the books.
Okay.
Anyway,
So we're gonna dive right in here to
so
our
now that
first
we're talking
poll.
about porn,
We're gonna
I
jump
mean, I have
right
a
in.
Pedro Pascal mug, so it was gonna happen. at
It's
some point.
guaranteed.
I also really quickly, Zoe. I thought you were about your friend. I thought you were going to say, "Spoiler alert, she died," and I was going to be like, I mean,
I'm
whatever
glad that
gets
is
you
not how it
through.
happened. Yeah.
Can you imagine if I was like, anyway,
I
rip,
would have
like,
been surprised.
on a live YouTube stream? No,
It's like,
she's
I'm not
doing
going to
great.
tell people how to grieve.
Grief is a complicated process. No, she's doing so well. She's
I'm
like
really glad
actually, she's like an incredible lawyer and kicking ass. And shout out to Amelia, you're doing great.
I'm really happy with how that sentence ended, because for a second I thought it was going to a very dark.
Wow, I'm gonna find a way during this podcast to drop some like incredibly dark tidbit of information in the most cavalier way possible. You've all been warned.
Spoiler alert.
So we're gonna get rolling.
All right, let's
with
do it.
our first poll. So we're gonna go through the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then the final. And the final was yesterday, closed this morning. So we're gonna jump right on in with our first quarterfinal, which was titled "It's Like a Rewarder." Allie, why?
Because there's a TikTok sound that's like, it's like a reward, and there's a warder involved.
Not only is there a warder, there is a warder and his Aes Sedai.
And it's like, yeah.
Oh, is this the one where you made us vote between Lan and Moraine?
This is the one where we made you vote between Lan
Horrible,
and
cruel.
Moraine, going head to head in the quarterfinals. I love
You
when the
see,
quarterfinals
the
are
thing
hard.
is as the rounds progress, everyone's like, how dare you do this to us? And I'm like, technically you did it to yourselves, because you voted the way you
Y'all
voted. I
made
just
this
set it
happen.
up and see how it goes after a while. I look at how I think the rounds are gonna go, but I couldn't have been more wrong many times this year. So like I have some control over where things go, but most of it is the you of it all. So you only have yourselves to blame.
So I'm gonna guess that all three of y'all are rooting for a land win here.
You know what? I don't know who I voted for.
I abstained. I am 99% sure I did not vote
Okay,
in
let's
this
see.
round.
I'm looking on your thing to see if I can find the poll because I was being pretty, as we have mentioned, sporadic this time with all the medication.
Yes.
You didn't vote? Well, then
No,
you cannot. Did you all vote?
Cannot speak.
You cannot speak.
I know that I voted and I know who I voted for, but I also felt really bad about it because I think that the person I voted for would have wanted me to vote for the other person.
So you
it
voted
is not a pity vote in the
You voted
Grinwell
for
Cup.
land,
You
didn't
must
you?
choose.
You
I
voted for
didn't
the poll.
vote.
You didn't vote? Well, it's too late now.
I think that I was quote tweeting in like pain and I was going to come back and do it, and then I just never did. I was really struggling because, and this is show goggles, because if it weren't show goggles, there's no way I wouldn't have voted for Lan. But you know, carpool mom.
The show
Carpool mom. I just have a whole new.
That is strike two.
I know. I'm just not.
Oh,
Donna voted for me. That's why I have a co-writer.
Yeah.
Barf. All right. No. That was very cute.
Yeah.
The
show goggles are an issue for this one. Like, not even like dealing with the people and the actors, but because the show has given me a Moraine perspective, I am now thinking about her so much more when I read. Like, I'm reading Eye of the World now because of this thing that I'm doing with Addison, and I've never thought about Maureen's perspective while reading that book. She was just the weird lady who came in and took the kids. And now it's just like, oh, the weird lady has emotions and feelings and I care about them. Like, it's.
I do also think there's some wheel takes goggles because Morgan did nothing wrong.
Yes.
Moraine did nothing wrong except for that one very long story in Eye of the World. Everything else is flawless. And she walked on camera, because I always refer to the book as on camera. She walked on camera and I went, I want to bang that. So I don't know what's wrong with the rest of you fucks, but get it together and understand the sexual powers that encapsulate Moraine Dama Dread. There's a reason she's called Dam Dread.
Allie, I feel like you really got cemented into the Moraine is hot train after that one scene in Dragon Reborn where Perrin like walks into the tent.
That's the hottest scene. No, I'm obsessed with that scene. I think we actually talked about that scene last time I was here and how
you might have talked about that scene.
All these people who are like the show made Moraine hot. Absolutely not. She's been hot from the beginning. There have been breadcrumbs from the first day that she breathed on screen.
The show made me look at Moraine is what it did.
Well, you should have looked earlier. I'll lend you some glasses. Now, and then
listen. I'm going to propose the weirdest hot Moraine scene. The fish.
When she's like tickling the fish? Yes.
No, she just catches the fish and then she throws him at Perrin like, okay,
you're
turn.
That.
And then here's the other thing. Okay, so the fish, and then Robert Jordan goes, that's not enough. No. And then he introduces Carolyn Damadred.
Carolyn Damadred for me was definitely Allie Goggles. Like that's when I voted for her, it was purely for you, Allie. I was just like
younger husky voice Archer Moraine. Sorry.
Nobody would have voted for Carolyn without you.
That really was my impact. But I think that I gave everyone an awakening. I really am a Carolyn truther. I swear to God, I'm like, she is Moraine, younger, with a husky voice, and who's an archer in a green dress. Stop. You don't need to tell me any more than that. You do not need to tell me a single other thing. I'm on board. She is the most fuckable person in these books. And I will not let it go.
Sorry, what was this particular poll, Gus? I think
Lan
it
versus Moiraine. Caroline
yeah.
was eliminated weeks ago.
I know.
There's a lot of really good fish comments happening on the side, and
There
I
are.
love and I respect
Yeah.
you all for this.
Yes.
Are.
Yes.
Works on many levels. Very deep, very poetic.
Well, this was a heartbreaker round. I mean, a lot of them from this point forward were heartbreaker rounds.
I'm
I would
not
say-
in it. I'm not
Nobody
in
could
it
have
to
lost.
make people happy. I'm not in this for that.
Me.
You're not in it
There's
to make
no
friends.
losers here, Allie. Fuck you, losers.
Yeah. I want everyone to feel like they've lost. If there is not weeping and gnashing of teeth and rending of clothes on my timeline, I don't want it.
I'm
I
sorry. And you
want
say
the pain.
you don't like Gowan because you're starting to sound a little Gowan-y up there.
No, I am Semirog. Get it right.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Absolutely.
This one was a heartbreaker, and it was closer than it could have been. But I wouldn't say it was terribly close. It ended up being about a 55-45 split between Lan and Moiraine, and Lan took it.
Yeah.
Lan moved forward, and good
Lord
for him.
Mullet.
See, I think that
Boo!
Lan would have voted for. Lan would have been like, "No, I would like Moiraine." Like that's what it made me sad. Like I'm voting-
Lan would have voted for Moraine. I would have voted for Moraine. Enough about Lan. Who cares?
Allie's
Yeah.
trying to trigger a coughing fit.
Now, if anyone is concerned that I may be like stacking the polls in some way, no, because if I had it my way, first of all, Moraine, it would be a Moraine Carolyn finale.
Oh, a finale! I'm making a hand gesture nobody can see.
That's correct. You don't have hands.
I know they are coming. My hands are coming. But yes, then I will be able to make dirty gestures.
Should we guess?
You
Finale?
can probably get. It was dirtier than that, but yes.
Oh.
Excellent.
Yes. Yes, there you go, Zoe.
All right.
Finale.
They're cousins, ma'am.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. I totally forgot. Totally forgot.
Jenny, I was assuming that you remembered they were related.
No, I totally didn't.
They look alike because
Just random.
They just randomly look the same.
No way to know. Listen, if I speak, I'll speak. No, I won't.
We're gonna continue forward.
Gus is like, please don't. Please don't. We're
gonna
not the
keep
Game
it
of
rolling.
Thrones on this poll.
We're gonna.
Okay, but why did Game of Thrones make me go, if she doesn't fuck her uncle, I'm
That's where I was. That's kind of vaguely where I was headed.
like we went from the first episode of the regular Game of Thrones show being like brothers and sisters, oh,
Ew.
horrible, disgusting, an abomination, to if
Ooh.
she doesn't fuck her
was
uncle
like,
to save
if
the
she-
kingdom, I swear to God.
Sink down on her knees in front of Daemon Targaryen. Why am I watching this?
We're gonna keep it moving here. We're gonna move it into. We're gonna move it on into the second quarterfinal. Be stilled, my heart, Allie.
Oh.
Why is it called "Be Stilled, My Heart"?
They're both still.
They have both been stilled. So I guess
Mhm.
spoilers for book 4. If you're still here, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, you slotted
Yeah.
a spoiler tag on it, and that's why fewer people voted. And I didn't think about that when I was naming the polls, because I think that everyone's caught up to me at least. I don't think about other people ever, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Like,
This is gonna be Swan versus Liana.
And again, very, very. Why put the? Oh, they're friends.
Tough.
They are friends.
And they were roommates.
and they will fight to the death.
Will it be in a mud? Will it be like in some sort of mud fight? Or-
God, I hope so.
Yes.
If I have any say in the matter.
Yes.
If I'm the Hunger Games game maker, that's what I'm doing.
Talking about the Hunger Games again. You're gonna spoil me.
No, you know that the game makers do stuff. I did not say anything you can't.
All right.
So-
I got briefly overwhelmed. I don't want to. Gus has been so good at keeping us on track. One, Matt Smith. What up? I live close to him. I love my partner, but everything's temporary. And then I kid. I live with him. We're pretty bonded, Warder style. But I was gonna say, I am the world's biggest Hunger Games stan. I've kind of adopted that as my entire personality in the wake of the pandemic.
Before you continue,
I'm
he's
on my way
first
through it
time
real quick.
reading right now.
No, I'm aware
Okay,
of
good,
this.
good, good.
I just want to say I'm an open space for all your thoughts and reactions. I was going to DM that to you earlier this week. I just want that on the table, please.
Thank you.
That's
good.
We should have you guest. If you are the biggest Hunger Games fan, we should have you guest at some point. That would be fun. Okay.
So between Swan and Liana, what are we feeling? I had a Foghorn Leghorn moment there. That was not intentional.
What are we feeling?
I
Sorry,
voted for Liana.
Liana.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
I voted Swan. Her feistiness just gets me. I like her when it is a problem with me and women, like when they get all angry and aggressive and they're just like unreason like that. That's I don't want you to direct it at me, but I want to watch as you do it at other people just because it's hot. She's really, really feisty.
Yeah.
I am also a team Swan on this one.
Okay.
I just think that she has a force of personality that would would bowl me over. Mm-hmm. And also it's a mommy thing. Like I would want to do anything to please her and make her approve of me.
Oh my God.
Tag me next time. Like honestly, that is I have problems with authority figures.
That is the seriously, Zoe, like can you imagine? I'm sorry, the phrase that I just have in my head right now is Swan being like, good girl to you. Like that's just you would melt.
Be back. I'm leaving.
Yes. Yes. Like you would just melt if Swan called you a good girl.
I would certainly do something.
Yes.
Tell you that much.
Yes. I would do a lot to earn that praise from Swan Sanche.
Gus, get us out of here, Gus. Get us out of
think about the good girl of it all, and now I have to rethink my whole life choices.
Yeah, there's no reviving this. We're just going to
I voted Liana, which I stand by.
Sure. Right. She is a hottie.
Like if I wanted someone to tie knots with me, I would go with Swan. But if I wanted someone to tie me in knots in every sense of the word, I would go with Liana. But now I didn't think about the good girl of it all. And now I have to reflect for a while.
See, I do think that Liana's like we have to recognize that she's got that scary smart thing going on too. Now she's the only one who had eyes and ears in the city and like in the tower. Like she's the one who thought, hey, let's not just spy on everyone else. Let's spy on us
ourselves. Yeah.
And she recognized that we were the hot mess.
And she's the one who thought, you know who I should recruit to go into the Black Aja? Shiria.
You have these theories that you share as though they're real because you're trying to trick people into telling you if they're right or not.
No, that actually
and Bree had this printed and laminated specifically. Hold on.
What does it mean?
It's a spoiler barred from Discord. My face is now spoiler barred. I am not giving anything away.
I love it. I've got my hack of just
going off the camera.
That is so funny.
Bree, you had that overnighted to you, didn't you?
Yes, I made some poor person at FedEx print this thing up. No, laminate it.
Yes. I love it.
They're probably wondering what the hell is happening.
I love it so much.
I have another one. I'm just waiting for the moment to deploy it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I have another one that's in honor of Brett last week. Would not stop with the office joke, so I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You're ready with an office.
Zoe, were you going to say something? I feel like
Zoe.
Oh no, I'm literally just I'm applying this little stick to myself.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Speaking of sticks, we could apply to ourselves. Swan and Liana.
I just like imagining getting approved. Like Swan doesn't approve of very many people, so if she approved of you,
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
But
you
see,
would
would
just-
she make fish metaphors during? Is my question.
I mean,
and is that a pro or a con?
yeah.
Okay, well,
And you
here's
have
the
to decide it's
question.
worth it.
With show goggles, if it's not the actors, but the fact that the show somehow made the fish stuff kind of hot.
Yeah, it made it emotional.
Daughter of the
It made it-
river,
Yes.
strong as the tides.
See, I think
Yeah,
that's
clever
fine.
as a pie.
I think if as long
You know
as
how
it's not
pikes
the
are
people,
hot.
it's fine.
I mean,
So
she
I
could,
mean,
like,
the
call you
show. I
pufferfish,
think the show did some
angelfish.
fish.
Yeah.
I'm arguing against myself now, but the show made the fish stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it did some.
Like it's not. She doesn't only like. She also does like fishing metaphors, and
Yes.
that's. I can see some fishing metaphors work, and like
Okay,
some
I'm just
swimming in
saying-
water.
I'm just saying, if she starts comparing me to a fish, I'm crying. Like,
No, but then you're even more desperate to get to make her approve of you. You're like,
Yes.
you're negging me during sex. And, oh, please,
What if-
mommy.
What if she said you were, graceful as a dolphin or something? Okay, I mean, can you make it good?
can you
I'd like that.
Yeah,
I
Make
like
it
a
good.
dolphin.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know
can
they're
you make it
mammals.
good?
What if
Aren't
it's just
they?
like you're
What if
clever
she said
as a
you were
lionfish?
scaly?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, wait, is that a compliment or is that an insult? Because nobody knows how clever a lionfish is.
Yeah.
The whale icon.
I'd have to Google,
This is
like, I'd have to
hilarious.
Google mid-coitus, like, is a lionfish smart?
I like to imagine you are actually a whale that has learned to comment on Wheel of Time. Please.
Whales are very, very smart.
You're
We're
like,
going
well,
to-
if I were compared to a whale,
I'd be pretty
not
happy.
that I'm a whale.
I think something else that's been mentioned is pre-stilling Liana is the most by the book.
Mm.
Like,
She has a code.
smack the ruler against
Zoe,
her hand
she's-
for-
Yeah, you want to talk about someone
You are
who's
the-
going to say good girl.
That's a good
Zoe,
point.
and she's got that stick. She's got
Mhm.
that stick. She's banging on the ground. And
I mean,
they're
there's
like,
also
what
something-
else could you bang?
She's such a secret freak, like, which is a
Mm.
very appealing thing. Like, she's got a little secret freak energy where
She's a
she's very
secret
buttoned
freak.
up,
Secret
and,
freak. She's super secret freaky.
and you could be like, ooh, I'm gonna tap into this like secret freak
Yeah.
energy.
Mhm.
Yes. Secret freak
Mhm.
energy.
So this was a small number of votes because it had a spoiler tag on it.
I'll never forget
Relative
myself.
to the rest of the polls with about 800, and it was a big split. It was like 70-30. And Liana
Yeah.
knocked it out of the park. here.
Y'all are too secure. You were too
Yeah.
secure in yourselves.
The thing is, I actually feel that Swan wouldn't care. Like it doesn't. It hurts me,
She
but it
wouldn't
also
care.
does. Swan wouldn't care. She's like, well, I don't know. I got my girls. It doesn't matter. Like she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Swan does not want your affection
Yeah.
or your lust.
Yeah.
Which is
she'd
probably
say-
why you should have voted for her because, like,
She'd probably say winning the Grinwell Cup is a slippery fish.
Yeah.
It's in your
Yeah.
grasp
There
one
it is.
moment and gone
And
the
then it
next.
just, yeah, exactly.
Look,
We're gonna
Writing.
we're gonna keep
Writer.
it on rolling with our third quarterfinal. The Cunning Linguists.
yes.
Allie,
they can speak many languages.
they can speak many languages.
And that is the only
That is
joke.
the only joke. And we have here Tom Marilyn versus Matt Cawthon.
Brutal.
Mhm.
Brutal.
Brutal.
A lot of heartbreak, as I said, from a lot of
Yeah.
folks.
Yes.
Tom Marilyn, who I have to remind people, barely edged out Davram Bashir by 6 votes.
And I honestly am angry that he did.
I do apologize for that because I know I voted Tom on that one only because of the title of the Davram Tom poll.
Yeah.
Because neither of them
Free mustache
appeal to
rides.
me like even a little bit.
You're
But
not
you
into
might-
diamond balls, Bashir?
Not even a
Please.
little. And I'm also not even a little into Tom, but the title was like mustache. I was like, well, Tom has multiple mustaches.
That's
So
fair.
if you're going for rides, He's got
Zoe.
the multiples.
Yeah.
Zoe,
Yeah.
Zoe. Pedro Pascal is Davram Bashir.
See that actually, I can see it.
I'm good now. I'm good.
There's a je ne sais quoi to Davram Bashir. He is ballsy.
We're just gonna
That
pretend
alone.
he won instead of Tom now.
And he
That
would
made me want to
adore
Sorry,
you.
guys.
And
I
he would
voted for-
adore you.
He would. I voted for Tom because Davram did so weirdly well last year and knocked out a bunch of my favorites, so I had a grudge.
Oh no.
But did you vote for Tom against Matt?
Yes.
You did.
That's
I
an
think I
age
voted
thing for
for
me.
Matt.
Because when I was a youth, a feckless youth, I thought Matt was very, very sexy.
Thank you.
He's very much like indie little beautiful trickster boy.
Thank you.
Little like Tim Tam Schlandalam energy going on. And as I got older and wiser to the ways of the world, I was like, no, I would like a daddy. I would like a daddy in this situation. So I think I went. It was a boys to men transition.
Yeah.
But I would have 10 years ago. I would have voted for Matt, but I'm just not that girl anymore. I don't know what to tell you.
To quote Marilyn with Matt, he's too much like me. And so I can't.
I actually, like, if I got to play any role as an actor in the Wheel of Time, I would want to play Matt Cawthon, like 100%. And he's very much like the type that I, like, in my gender spectrum, feel very, like, drawn to. And for that reason, I no longer want to fuck him.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of any other way to phrase that, and my brain just went 2
Phrase it how you want to
2
phrase
a.m.
This is the thing for me is I feel like the Emmons Fielders as a whole are too young for me to find hot at this point in my life. They're too young. I'm like, I need someone a little more street smart at this era.
Yeah, the show reminded me of that. Even like without the show goggles, they cast a bunch of babies, and I was like, oh no. I grew up and they did not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a weird element of the show goggles. It's not even the actors; it's their age.
They're beautiful, but they're babies.
This is something I noticed as a whole in the Grinwell Cup this year is that the younger team did less well than they have in Grinwell Cups past. And I think because of the show, I think all of us went, oh, I'm 30, 40, 50. This is no longer appropriate for me to lust after.
Yes.
But in our minds, we were that age. We were like, they just aged with us.
Yes, totally.
100%. It's like me, like, Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling's a turf and boo forever. But like me reading Harry Potter fanfic in college, being like, we're the same age. And I'm like, no, like, it was
not any longer.
Very different. In my mind, I was like, Harry's 22. I'm 22. What I was gonna say also, Tom, the older I get, I'm also like, the fact that he can do court intrigue is very sexy to me because I wouldn't have to take care of him. Like he wouldn't be my little baby man boyfriend that I would have to be like, honey, are you having a good time at the party? Like, did you make some friends, sweetie? Did you eat today? Like, oh, I could just be like, Tom, go off, charm the populace, like do some conniving for me. We are a team. We're a power couple. And that's very sexy. Whereas Matt, I'd be like, what'd you say?
Bring home dinner.
Exactly. Whereas with Matt, I'd be like, why is half the house on fire, babe? What were you, what happened today? Why is my bedroom burning?
But the thing is with Matt, that it would be why is half the house on fire, but then it burnt down and it revealed like a treasure that was like buried under the house. You know?
See, but this is why I identify with Matt because I definitely nearly burned down our
recently, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah. With eggs.
Well, okay, so I'm ADHD, right? And so one of the worst and most hazardous things that I could possibly make for myself is hard-boiled eggs because it takes so long. And and when I leave the kitchen, they no longer exist.
Yeah. ADHD solidarity. I have also done this. Whatever you're about to do, I suspect it's
you know, if you do it long enough, they explode under the ceiling.
I do now because here's
ADHD knowledge.
Because here's what happened. So this is the second time I've done this, by the way. I should know. The first time I was sitting, I like started to make them and then left for an eye doctor appointment. And then I realized while in the chair what I had done and
Oh my
raced
God.
home, which was a very dramatic thing because at the time I lived in an apartment building. So I was like, oh, fuck. But if I go home and the apartment complex is on fire, luckily nothing happened. It just all the water was gone. But the second time, so I'm lying in bed. I started making them probably at what, like 9 o'clock.
It's now 11 o'clock.
Gus is away from the house, and I'm lying in bed. I'm reading a book, and our cat comes over and is like acting like a menace. He's like screaming at me, which he does often. And I always tell him that one day there's going to be a real emergency, and no one will believe him. Well, there was a real emergency, and then all of a sudden our Google Home goes, warning, the fire alarm is about to go off. It will be loud. And I was like, fuck. So I sprint out of bed and I get to the kitchen. It's 2 hours later. And the condensation from the boiling water is like on the windows and doors. Like it's all over
and
the house.
You didn't smell it at that point? Because I feel like it would be, in my experience, it
I
was
did
stink.
when I got home.
Well, I was like, it was like a slow build, so I didn't notice the change in the smell until I went in the kitchen, and then I really smelled the smoky egg for sure. And that was a smell that lingered for like 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And the eggs had exploded and then charred within the explosion.
Yeah.
So
That's what happened to mine.
I called Gus. I love that I'm not the only one who's done this. It's a menace. It's a menace.
It's horrible.
And I called Gus and I was like, I was already near tears because I felt really bad and really stupid. And I called Gus. I was like, please don't be bad.
You were safe. That's all that matters.
Thank you. Because I definitely almost burned the house down. And then he came home and like laughed at me. And I was like, that's the perfect response. I laughed with me because we were laughing. And my thing is, I like hard-boiled eggs really like boiled. Like I like them like basically they're charred at this point. And Gus makes fun of me and calls them my like hard-boiled death eggs. And so I looked at him and trackball eggs, and he makes fun of me. But I looked at him and I went, they were almost perfect.
So on that note,
she's a writer, folks.
Yes.
This poll between Matt and Tom had a 45-point spread.
I assume it went Matt.
You went Matt, yeah, 27.5 to 72.5, just shy of 1,000 votes.
Okay, this was only 5 days ago. I voted for Matt. I find that very strange.
Do
It does not sound like me, does it?
Were you still high on your cold meds at this point?
I've been a little all over the place. I don't know why I voted for Matt. I think I was annoyed at Tom for beating Davram.
That's fair. I think a lot of people
apparently we should never forget the spite votes in
he stirs up strong emotions. I don't know what to tell you.
Because the people would not stop talking about him tackling Rand, and I was like, yes. I'm so frustrated with Rand right now where Allie is in the books. More tackling.
Well, I keep siding with the people who try to assassinate him, which is not
You do. It makes me laugh.
Well, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about it from their perspective. I would try to kill him too.
Yes. He's a mess.
He's laughing to himself, throwing up like the Exorcist boy.
Yeah.
I absolutely would murder him.
And he killed half of his army.
Take a quick PSA moment with all the people sharing their. Thank you for sharing these stories about setting things on fire in the kitchen. A PSA is a reminder to always keep a fire extinguisher in your kitchen. It can save your life.
Do we have one?
Yes, we do.
But today I learned.
Also, can I recommend make your eggs in the Instant Pot? It turns itself off.
Oh.
I'm so fucking dumb.
There you go, Allie. I will send you a link to a how done do you want them Instant Pot tutorial because it's the only way I can make eggs now.
As done as they can possibly be.
We're gonna keep it moving.
Okay. This is so exciting.
We're gonna come to our final quarterfinal.
Okay.
Queens of Hearts. We came up with a lot of different titles for this one because we couldn't quite settle on the right one. The first one was Spank You Very Much. The second one,
I still say that should have been it.
The second one was Two Girls, One Grinwell Cup. And the one we ultimately went with was Queens of Hearts.
Okay. Okay.
because we thought that nobody would think we were saying anything bad about them.
Okay.
So,
We've been very concerned about our public image lately.
so this is Allie. Why is it called Queens of Hearts?
It is called Queens of Hearts because they are the queens of our hearts.
Of our hearts. And they
Um,
are both in some way connected to or are themselves
Queens.
some type of royalty. And this is Nynaeve versus
they're
Beryl
both
Lane.
queens. What? Are they
Lan-
not both queens?
She's the first, and Lan is the uncrowned king.
Oh,
she's
please.
just queen now.
That's
Okay,
queen.
fine, then they're
Those
queen,
are
fine.
fancy ways to say
She's an
queen.
uncrowned queen, maybe?
Okay, we can take it. Regardless, they're both queens,
Yeah.
whether they literally are or not.
Mm.
Jenny, I feel like you should probably take the lead here.
I mean, I voted for Nynaeve, but I knew
Yes.
she wouldn't win. Like, I
Really?
knew, like, okay, I adore
Yeah.
Nynaeve. Everybody knows how much I love Nynaeve. She is my girl. I love her. She was never the character. She was never hot, and I don't think people read her as hot.
Mhm.
They read her as amazing and badass and whatever. But I don't think. I would love her to win because I think she needs the assurance because she's really insecure. I want her to win for her confidence, but she was not the hot. Yeah, I don't think she's written as hot.
Okay.
I
Nynaeve
do,
is
but
not
I
written
like
as hot.
angry people.
Yeah.
I love an angry woman, man. If she's angry, I'm like,
Hot.
See, I think what it is,
Well-
is I identify with her. Yes.
Nynaeve better be hot because I'm not as hot as Nynaeve.
But I identify with her so much, like, not wanting to vote for Matt because you don't want to bang yourself. There's that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
also
I want to
she, like,
bang myself.
okay, all right.
I would say similar feelings for me with Nynaeve, where she is the other character I most identify with. I did vote for her, but I also feel that like the insecurity, which is part of what deeply endears her to me, like she is so human and relatable because she is constantly questioning herself, is also, I feel like, not necessarily a sexy trait. I also, people go feral for Beryl Lane. I saw.
I certainly do. I certainly do.
I mean, listen, Beryl Lane, she does have that elusive power to be both like hot little femme, bossy bottom energy, and also she could pull off a good girl.
She's got a je ne sais come about her.
She
You know
could
what I mean?
definitely pull off a good girl. I have I mean, I know people headcanon a lot of Beryl Lane stuff away. I don't, because I feel weirdly protective of Fail, even though Fail isn't a favorite of mine. It bothers me that people will headcanon away a lot of the problematic stuff that Beryl Lane does, but then keep it in their headcanon for like, well, but then Fail is just being jealous for no, Fail is acting that way because there's a woman actively trying to steal her husband. Like,
I think they should
headcanon
kiss.
I think they should kiss. Yeah, I think
they
they
should
should.
definitely kiss. They should.
I'm on the
definitely
Beryl Lane Fail power couple.
Yes,
And Perrin is their play toy.
Their
friend.
boy toy.
Yeah, I think they
That
could
I'm okay
throw
with.
knives together and knife each other, all
Listen,
that kind of
Fail
stuff.
wants to be spanked. Beryl Lane knows what's up. Perrin can just let Beryl Lane do it.
I am okay with that. Yes, it just bothers me that people will hate on one of them and then love on the
Yes.
other one.
Yes.
And I think it is also. Oh, go ahead, Gus. Sorry.
Okay, please.
I was gonna say, I also think it is one of those things that's coded a bit with Beryl Lane being hot and sexy, and Fail being not described in that way.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that there's like internalized misogyny per se, but I think that it's much easier in some ways to feel. I think there's a natural narrative of being like hot, sexy woman. Woman with hawk nose description, which is obviously a very simplistic read of that. But I get irrationally protective.
Dead on.
Yeah, we love.
I get very
Fail.
protective of Fail as well for that reason.
Yes.
Where I'm like,
yeah.
I'm always
women in this
enraged
book
when
are-
she doesn't advance.
I appreciate that you are not saying that it's internalized misogyny because I am.
Well, to be fair, I also think it's just misogyny from other people too. So it's both.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yes.
I think. Go ahead, please.
Oh no, that I was just
I think a lot of the praise Barrelane gets is hotness potential.
Mhm.
Right? It's
Yes.
like if you went to a 5-hour intensive meeting with human resources and got over your shit.
Yes.
Why can't you do that?
My thing about the Grinwell Cup is in order to vote for anyone, I have to go through like this. I'm like, who? She did what? I've never read these books in my life. I've just read their description.
Yes. Well, she has so much potential as like if love Robert Jordan as I do, if he hadn't fucked it up, it would be great. she is so
She was
has so much potential.
differently written by a woman. I'm just
yes.
Not I don't like to like universally, because some women are just gonna write the same thing, but like I feel like there is a female perspective on her that would make her, you could even have the same actions, but would make her very different.
Yes.
In mine,
100%.
she and Fail ditch Perrin and go off together in the sunset. That's
This
my
would be fantastic.
And in that case, she's definitely hot.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it's so sexy, you know, that she is both in her femininity, in her kind of sexuality, and is a powerful leader and has all these incredible wiles. Like, I think we all agree there are so many deeply sexy aspects to this character. It's just then you get the
ick
everything with Perrin.
But it all is like so against everything you just listed too, though. I think that's what makes it easy to headcanon it away, because it really does feel like, why is this smart woman spending this much time
on Perrin of all people?
Perrin's dick like I don't know,
a magnet
to an alternate universe? Like,
a magnet.
What's happening?
A magnet.
People want that wolf dick.
She has like an adamantium skeleton. Is that what's happening?
Well, and wait, I started talking, I got everyone's attention, and I forgot what I was going to say. And now everyone's looking.
It's just like Zoe just like listed like a million reasons why it doesn't make sense for her to do the stuff she did, because all of those things are true about her. And then it's just like this plot laid on top of it where she just throws away literally all of her smarts and intelligence and all of the like goodwill she's built up, because she just wants to chase this random 21-year-old farm boy around.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it, and therefore it doesn't exist. I just don't believe it in my heart. I'm like, there must be another thing going on here. His dick cannot be that magnetic. There's just no way. There's just no way. She could pull Gallad. She could pull Gallad, and she's going for Perrin. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe.
When you just said she
her.
could pull Gallad, I went, okay, but that's my man. Internally, I got upset. I was like,
he's got a code, and he would break it for you.
He's got a code, and he would only break it for Zoe. So
Zoe and the codes.
Yes,
Zoe and the codes. But this is my thing. For anyone who might not have listened to the podcast and are just coming to us for the Grinwell Cup, I will assure you, we have had a very special episode of Wheel Takes about Barrelane and her behavior. We have unpacked trunks of luggage, and like an entire Louis Vuitton store, an entire what is that bag?
A
brand?
capacious bag, Greg.
No, the away bag. We've packed entire away stores worth of bags about this fucking woman. But I will just say, in a vacuum, if you saw her and you didn't know anything about her, everyone would fuck her. So do not lie to me. Do not lie to me.
This is like, again, other characters, I definitely like Matt. I voted for Matt. I had cannon away a lot of Matt's nonsense. The only reason I don't with Barrelane is because I want to protect Fail, and I feel it's unfair to her. It's unfair to her.
Listen,
I'm sorry, I'm
when
yelling.
When we someday do our Fail deep dive, one day.
Really? What's this?
Yeah.
The Fail deep dive we've been promising since December of 2020.
That we're going to release the episode that you're expecting, the last battle. No, it's just You're like, I
File.
can't wait to hear Ali Gus talk about the friggin' last battle. Oh, it's the File deep dive.
It's File Friday, baby.
File
Friday every day.
Yeah.
Jenny,
All
I
right.
support this because you know that I mean, I actually think I like Fail more than you do. I don't even think you like her as much as I do.
No, I
love
don't
her.
really like her, but I want to protect her.
Oh, we love her.
I
We
We
also
love
think
her.
she also has to go to HR, but you know.
Oh,
for
yeah.
different reasons.
Oh, so much
Absolutely.
therapy.
But I'm just like-
Absolutely.
When people are like, Bear Lane's problematic, I'm like, I hear you, but Rand is a literal war criminal. Like, we cannot start.
Yes.
We
Fair.
cannot start. Like, I know she needs a sexual harassment seminar. No one's debating that at all. But
Yeah.
like, also, there's a lot of problematic behavior in these.
I don't think even my Nynaeve. I love Nynaeve. Nynaeve hits people.
She's abusive.
Full-on
Constant
hits people.
abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Gus and I at one point sat down and we were like, is there a way to have a non-problematic Grinwell Cup? Like, we just eliminate all of the problematic characters. And we determined it would be one
Loyal
round
versus
golf.
Loyal versus golf.
Gaul. Yes.
And we're like, even then, they've killed people. So, like, I don't know where we're drawing the line.
So this poll was, you know, it was closer than I had expected because I also expected Bear Lane to win this.
Yeah.
But it was about 55-45.
When
between the two
Nynaeve
of them.
folks show up, we are
Nynaeve
crazy.
Better. Okay.
Yeah.
She did better than I thought.
The
so.
Nynaeve crew came in and
Nice.
they showed up. Almost 1,400 people showed up for this one.
Okay.
But Bear Lane did just clinch that victory.
Okay.
Nynaeve fell, alas, but her
I'm
husband.
mad, but not as mad as I was in previous years.
her
Yeah.
husband
because
is still
I-
in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I
that's
do
all I
like
was gonna
Bear
say,
Lane.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I want to point out that in the semifinals, I believe for the first time ever, if we're looking at the sex of the characters, it is 50-50 split, which I don't think has happened before. Usually at this point, I already
Oh.
highlighted that comment.
Okay.
Usually at this point, like all the men have been eliminated.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So the toxic
so-
masculinity that like harms the men seems to be getting less.
yeah, the men who are like, I
Yes.
can't vote for a man. Yes, you can. You
Yes.
But then they
I
watch
vote
the
for men
show.
all the time.
But who among us didn't become bi during the pandemic? You know?
So our first semifinal is called L is for the way you look at me.
Beautiful, poetic.
Elliot, because their name's supposed to start with L.
And this is Lan Mandragoran,
We can't all be thinkers.
They can't all be thinkers. Sometimes
Lan-
we have to go with what we know.
Lan versus Liana. Lan
Okay,
versus
I know
Liana.
who won because I know who was in the final.
Yes.
So yeah.
I had to go look
Mhm.
up to see who I voted for because I honestly couldn't. Like with every single one of these, I could have seen myself voting either way.
I'm looking
Yeah,
at my
this is-
votes now as well.
Yeah. I know I
Yes.
voted for Lan because Lan is the sexiest character. So
The cup is designed to be unfriendly.
yeah.
Well, but see, like this is the thing. I'm both more tormented but less mad because previous years there were some people who got in. I was like, "How dare you advance to the finals?
Mm.
How
Right,
dare
right,
you?"
right.
But right now, I'm like, "You're all hot." I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sad that I'm having to choose who's hotter,
Ooh.
but also you're all hot. I feel like this year is a pretty hot final rounds.
Yeah, I agree.
This year is my
Semifinals.
favorite. I can't remember the final fours of past, but this year is my favorite.
Okay. I feel like you're lying.
Because it's the one that's in front of me.
Yes,
Object
yes.
permanence.
I have none, diagnosably.
Yeah, no, Lan, I mean, Leanne, I probably wouldn't read me poetry. So, you know.
Oh,
Liana wouldn't or Lan wouldn't?
yeah. I want to talk to
Liana,
this,
yeah.
yeah. I want to talk to this comment really fast. Super valid. I have always been bi as in my gender and all other genders, which is how I have heard it represented. But I think everyone's mileage with that version of the terminology is different. So I'm glad you shouted that out in the comments.
Yes. I am also appreciative. I identify as pan, but I say bi because it was a really agonizing coming out to my mom trying to explain to her what pan is. And so I just don't want to go through it again.
Yeah, it's always worth checking in with our terminology and keeping ourselves as inclusive
Absolutely.
and honest as possible.
It was agonizing because it opened things up to a lot of questions and I just didn't want to answer.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember I had an ex-boyfriend who was pansexual and my mother That was a conversation. Anyway.
Moms and the convos.
Now, here's what I'll say about this poll. I thought it was going to be a blowout, and it wasn't. I'm not going to say which way I thought it was going to be a blowout.
Okay.
But I will tell you it's the second closest, I think the second closest poll we had.
It's so
Really?
close. I'm shocked Liana did this well. That's
really?
how I
You're
feel.
shocked Liana did as well as she did.
I just think every single person I know wants to fuck Lan.
Sure.
And I would say the evidence is before us.
And then I
So
want to fuck
you-
him again. I just want him to read me poetry.
That's
Don't
what
read to
they
your-
all say.
Listen, you know it.
But,
It's 2 a.m.
but here's the thing.
No, now it's 3 a.m. You
It's
have
3
even
a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But here's the thing.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
I thought this too. I thought that Lan was universally hot. And then everyone started debating whether or not Lan was hot during his initial round of the Grinwell Cup.
Yeah.
And I was shocked by the discourse. I was
That is
shocked
why
by
my
it.
name is Rocks Are Hot.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
people were saying stone faces weren't hot, and I was like, "Excuse me,
They're
But-
honest.
But it is like,
craggy rock face."
but it is like Egwene specifically thinks that he's not attractive. Like there is a canonical. Like,
And we
Egwene
can all
is like,
trust Egwene's taste.
oh yeah,
Egwene.
Egwene's taste
Oh.
in men is not
Yeah.
exactly. Egwene, Bree, you voted for Gowan.
I know.
Bring it up again.
But nobody has terrible taste in men like she has terrible taste in men.
Jenny,
Like,
tell
let's
Bree that
line
was
up.
unforgivable. Jenny,
Let's
tell
line them
Bree.
up. Rand,
Yes.
Aram,
Yeah.
Gowan, just like in
Yeah.
the first freaking couple books.
Yep. She
That's
is.
that's not a.
Not a woman of taste.
And
No.
it's so wild that I was like, I'm like, I would have preferred you go for the fantasy fascist boy. Like
Yeah. Yes.
that would have been a better choice.
Yes.
Yeah, but it did land.
I
The
am
land
going to say
debate.
this. I'm going to say this, Allie. The
Okay.
only way I can make an argument for Gowan is that the fucking
Oh,
Turkans
no.
and the Damodreds
No,
are so dysfunctional. And at some point, you can just make an argument that, yeah, maybe he's a trash bag, messed
Yes.
up, dysfunctional
Yes.
prince.
yes.
So fuck him and then put him in the ditch and get far, far away.
I will
or
say,
save
Bree,
yourself the trouble and fuck another hot guy.
Yes.
I saw,
But you don't want to.
Who likes you? Gowan liked her. She could have fucked him.
Well, I would not pick Gowan over Galad.
Zoe, what were
I
you
will
gonna
say, I saw a comment on one of the polls that I thought was interesting, and I can't remember who said it, but they were like, okay, his personality is so bad that for Egwene to want him that badly, he must be like mind-blowingly sexy.
Yeah, I think he is. He must be like so hot. And the only reason nobody thinks so is because he's always standing next to Galad.
Yeah.
And like Galad is just that much hotter.
Yes.
And I
So
thought
for
it
all
was
we
like,
know,
that's-
Galad is like the second hottest person on the universe.
in the world. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
again, if she can talk to him, hear the words coming out of his mouth, and still want him, he must have an energy. That's all I'm saying.
He must be mind-blowingly hot.
Yeah, there must be a draw.
Oh wow.
So while I love talking about Gowan, he is not in this poll.
Wait. I'll bring it back. So when we were when the land debates led to one of my favorite quotes from James of all time, which was, "A rock can read me poetry. That doesn't mean I want to fuck it." And that
See, this is where I go. I might. I'm
Have you seen? Have you
Yeah,
seen
I
the-
immediately was like, I'm gonna just not comment on.
Yeah.
There's some sexy statues out
I'd
there.
lick
Like,
the rock.
come on. With the David.
I just
I'm
want
sorry,
a rock
are you
and
here
a
to-
hard place, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
When you shit on land, you shit on Michelangelo. You shit on great
That's-
works of
Yes,
art.
that's how that works.
You are that school that fired the person over
Yes.
David.
Yes. You,
So
You
vote
are
for land or you
Laura.
hate art.
Yes.
and free speech.
Land is America's vote.
Yes.
I've said what
Oh
I need
my
to say
Lord.
here.
But Liana Sharif is also in this poll.
She is. She is.
Listen, I don't think I would have voted for many people for over her, but I did vote for Lan.
Yeah.
Because apparently I was like, once it wasn't Moraine, somehow I was back on the Lan train.
I voted for boobs. I mean, Liana.
I
can't be
respect.
mad.
I respect the boobs. She gets a little like pick me in some chapters, Liana.
No. Zoe, take that back.
What are you
maybe
Robert
Robert
Jordan wrote a pick me girl? You're telling me that's what Robert
Guess what?
Jordan did?
What? You're telling me that James Oliver Rigney.
I'm not going to hold it against her.
I am shocked and dismayed.
I am shitting bricks over that statement.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say it's her fault, but she'll pick me sometimes.
And you're going to say that she's a pick-me when Egwene is right there.
I have to laugh really quietly because my brother
Egwene isn't really right there. She's nowhere because we're not talking about her and her taste in men and Cowan right now. Because Gus is begging us not to.
We're going to go through every character in this entire bracket and roast them for 45 minutes. Zoe will never sleep again.
Yes.
No, I'm up all night, baby. I'm up until the last battle. Let's go. Let's ride.
All right.
This was close. This was 49-51.
What were the actual numbers?
49-51.
49-51.
Yeah.
It was
20,
very
20
close.
23 votes between them.
Wow.
575
Oh,
to
my
552.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And
Wow.
Lan did advance, which I love Lan. I didn't think he would because I really
I
expected
thought
Honestly,
he was fucked. I
didn't
fucked.
either.
Yeah.
I thought he had it. I knew my boy had it.
The
See, I
bi
figured,
girls are pretty chaotic, and there's a lot of the straight dudes who don't usually.
and the
win.
lesbians come out for Lan. The lesbians love
The
Lan.
lesbians.
there was a movement from the Nynaeve crew, the Laneve crew, to say, well, Barrelane beat Nynaeve, so now we need to make sure that Lan beats Barrelane.
Yep.
Whether or not that happened remains to be seen. But we are going to get to our second semifinal, Allie. This one is called Too Much, Like Me.
Okay, so
Why?
Matt was in this one. I can't remember who else.
Love it.
Because Barrelane met Matt and went, he's too much like me. And so then they're in a bracket together.
Oh, they're together,
so
okay.
yes. So I was like, oh, perfect. Too much like me.
Again, I voted. This one I voted against. I know I voted against Barrelane.
That's fine.
So
That's
that was-
allowed.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. No.
Like it wasn't a vote for Matt. It was a vote for no.
The other one.
Yeah,
That's fair. And someone at one point, Rob, I think 2 weeks ago, said Barrelane's too obviously hot. And I went, oh, because everyone hates obvious attractiveness.
yes. I don't.
I can tell that I'm getting better. My medicine is kicking in because I voted for Barrelane, not Matt. Voting for Matt would not be a very me thing to do.
Why?
Oh, I
Why?
mean, you
Tell
guys
us.
know, like, because it's your fault. Because
What?
you were currently, or like, you just read Crown of Swords, which is like the most I want to smother Matt with a pillow book I think that exists.
What?
So, like,
He's
I
not
currently-
even in it.
No, like it was before Path of Daggers.
When
Ah.
they're throwing cow poop at him and stuff.
When he's like grabbing Egwene and hauling her around, and like just all of the weird pinching people and reminding me that he's teaching Oliver to like, and like the whole band of the sexually harassing free hands, and I'm just like, I hate that.
Like harassing free hands. See, this is where it becomes incredibly unfair because I headcanon all of that away from Matt, and then I just leave everything in for Barrelane, and it's just it's not fair. I am sorry, fictional characters. I am not treating you
seriously,
equally.
Jenny.
I'm like, we all just
Real
ignore.
misogynist here. I would just like to say that Jenny hates women.
That's exactly what that is.
This is my thing. People ignore so much the Matt-sogyny of it all. And I am like, he's like, so that's a Gus invention, but he's stuffing coins down women's blouses.
Boobies. Yes.
And he's like, it's fine. I only do it to the serving girls who like it. And I'm like, how did you find out that they like it? Though?
This is
Seriously,
where
I walk around, but please put coins in my cleavage. That's exactly what I want.
And I'm
this
like,
is where
also,
my identifying
we're
with Matt
working
is a
for
bad
you.
thing. Yeah, yeah, right. My identifying with Matt comes back to bite me in the butt because I'm like, I'll headcanon everything away because I would never, and we're the same. Like,
I
Year
support that. I mean,
one.
I support the Mad Headcanon. I think I'm so mad at him because I had forgotten he did all of this stuff until Allie and Gus very slowly read each chapter,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my god, Matt, I'm
Yep.
gonna kill you."
Emphasis
Yep,
on
fucking
very
dip.
slowly.
Well, no, you're like I spent hours thinking about it because you broke everyone down, and I was like, "Wow, I can't forget this now."
Well, I think when you read it
It'll
as
go away
slowly
again.
as we
It'll go
do,
away.
no one is a sympathetic. Like, there's so
No,
many people
no.
where you're like, all of you suck in some way. We just have to root for who we root for.
Yes, the one that got me actually where you pulled it, because I had always, okay, I'm just headcanning away how much Nynaeve hits people. Fine. And then you were like, she's really rude to people in the service industry. And I was like, no,
She really
I
is.
totally
She
skipped
Oh,
that.
she's so
Yes.
bad.
She really is
really
rude.
is.
It breaks my
It's-
heart.
It's something that we just have to forget and pretend doesn't happen.
She's really rude every time there's anyone in the service industry. She's so rude every time. And I'm always like, Nynaeve has Karen energy, unfortunately. Like, I'm really
Nynaeve, like,
sorry.
Gets people fired by their bosses and doesn't leave tips. Like,
Yes.
you just know.
That was a
It's
really
so sad. She
wretched deployment
does.
of Karen. I can't unhear that. I can't unhear that.
I
It's
know.
horrible.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you
It
forget
hurt-
again.
It hurt my soul. Exactly.
It'll go
Yes.
away. It'll go away.
It'll go away. It'll go away. You'll forget because she'll do
No.
other things that are fun. But this is why I'm like, I will come for everyone's favorites because everyone's when they deserve it. When they deserve it, they will all be read their rights in turn. So be patient if you are upset that I'm giving your favorite character a hard time because I'm like the wind. I'm mercurial. The next time one of them does something to piss me off, it'll be their turn to be slandered.
Yes.
Except for
I'm also
Moraine,
just-
who does
The
nothing
paper
wrong.
should go underhand, by the way.
I was
Under
just
the
going to say,
center.
it does. I also
Whoa.
put the paper under.
Okay. All
I
right.
also
Wow.
put the paper under.
Am I
My
the only
part-
one who has no opinion on that? I
Yes.
have
I
no
don't
opinion.
either.
I
I
do-
posted a video that showed mine going under because my dog had like eaten a bunch of toilet paper and I thought it was cute. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, your toilet paper is rolled under." And I was like, "What? There's a cute puppy. How do you care?"
I have no opinion. I go with the wind.
The reason I put it under is because in Korea, bathrooms are just wet rooms. Like most bathrooms are just wet rooms. Like
sure,
the
okay.
shower doesn't have, right? So the toilet paper has a thing, like a metal thing over it to protect it from the water from the shower. And it's better if it goes under because then you can just push down on the metal thing when you rip the toilet paper. If it's over, it still slides. It's, yeah.
I do, however, I don't have an opinion about toilet paper like orientation, but I do have a strong opinion about toilet paper brands and what is acceptable in my home and what isn't. Like there's no three ply bullshit. No. Like if it chafes my butt, it's not welcome.
A lot of plies.
Wait, no, which
Yeah.
one's the one? One ply.
I was like,
Two
one ply.
One ply.
Two
Yeah.
ply, one ply,
That is-
whatever that is,
Yeah.
we left it behind in the college days. We're done
Yeah.
stealing toilet paper from various facilities and saying that's enough. Like we're done. We're done with it.
I have not bought toilet paper in a very long time because I do just steal it from work. Shh, that is top secret.
Well, how many ply? Maybe if it's good, I would steal.
Yeah, it's 2 ply. It's like
Okay.
it's adequate a number of ply.
Yes.
You know
if
who-
there's not at least 2 ply, it is not welcome in this house.
You know who's never bought toilet paper in his life? You know Matt Cawthon is stealing
yeah.
toilet paper from every single facility
Oh, yeah.
he visits. He's just got a
Matt-
running like roll in his pocket.
Matt's the guy who's always like, I bought it last time. And you're like, you fucking did
Never
it.
got it. He's
Fuck
never bought
No,
anything.
I'm just also Matt doesn't. Matt has napkins from various bars.
Oh
in
my
his
god, he's a
bathroom.
napkin guy.
That's what
You're
he's got
so
in the
right.
bathroom.
He's just got fucking like a wad of Chipotle fucking napkins.
The brown ones.
yes.
And another pocket full of like the sauces and like salt packs.
Ah!
Yes.
And
I
he's
just
really-
also. Oh,
and
go
he's
ahead.
really not sure why the toilet keeps clogging. He's like keeps swearing about it, and you're like, my brother in Christ, my
Yes.
brother in Christ.
Chipotle
why did you
is
say
not
that?
meant for the pipes. That's what it is.
I had an unholy thought, which is what if Rand likes it over and Luce Theron likes it under.
Oh.
Does Rand
Uh-oh.
just never shit again? Because he's
What
just sitting there going.
Rand's too busy projectile vomiting everywhere to have too many
Yeah,
thoughts
exactly.
about this.
But he can't clean it up because every time he reaches for the roll, he goes.
Ah! So, speaking of toilet paper, speaking of people who have other people living in their heads, Matt and Barrelane were in this poll.
Oh, right.
Right.
It was about a 15-point spread. Barrelane took this, as might be expected.
As she should.
Matt falls by the wayside. I think that is probably good because he would not want to join the pantheon of the heroes of the Horn Knee. I don't think. So, we get to our final.
Oh, it's happened.
The final round.
Okay.
Which is called Two Rare Birds because we couldn't fucking think of anything else. And
you try. If anyone has suggestions for what we could have called this, please let us know. Because Bland versus Barrelane, I'm like, when do they ever? Well, I did come up with another one, but Gus said I wasn't allowed to use it. It was Stone of Tear My Ass Apart. But
I mean, you already had one poll suppressed for.
we did. You have a sensitive content warning on one poll.
Yes.
That one, yeah.
Oh, this is actually good.
No,
Fight
but-
for first.
but I wanted it to encapsulate both of them, and first just encapsulates Barrelane,
He
right?
fights.
He fights.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
fun thing about this
fights.
poll,
He fights.
a couple firsts in this poll. Two Rare Birds being Land versus
No, there's
Barrelane.
one first in this poll.
You're right. The first of Mayan is in this poll. This is the first time that a guy has made it to the finals.
Yes.
The first year was Nynaeve Avienda. The second year was Brigitte versus Barrelane, and therefore the third first is the first returning finalist
Oh, okay.
that we have had. The first time somebody has made it to the finals twice.
And this one, I actually don't know who won because, like, I knew the other ones because we're getting towards the finals, so I could guess who won based on who was in the finals. But this one, I literally have no idea because I voted and then I went to sleep. So
I thought this was a semifinal when I voted in it because I clearly don't read the instructions.
No.
I just looked at the poll name.
Yeah.
Also, like, I wasn't sure who to vote for at first.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I know
really
it-
torn.
I know who won because I voted passionately.
Yes.
I mean, I voted passionately as well for my stone face, my rock that apparently I want to fuck.
It's
riddle.
okay. We understand. We all want to fuck him.
Well, you
too.
hate women now, so I mean,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm a misogynist. I hate women, and I want to fuck rocks who read poetry. And
Yes,
this is
this is-
yes. To change
this
my
is just
YouTube
your new
channel name.
life.
Yes.
The wheel takes as a blessing and a curse. We
Jenny, lands
Set
be
your
nerdy.
time.
Yes.
Lands be nerdy.
Exactly.
Oh my
Can I
god.
do it? Can I do it?
Yes, do it. Do it.
There we go.
Okay. This was a hard one for me, but the hardest one for me overall was Moraine Rourke
Yes.
in the quarters.
You blind voted that.
I
one.
didn't
Sorry,
look,
you
I
didn't
just
mean, sorry.
clicked.
Yeah.
And I still to this day can't bring myself to see who I voted for.
I could tell you.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure I actually did see that I voted for Rourke,
Rourke,
which
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, he's going to lose anyway. So
Mm. I did that on a couple of these. I voted for who I thought the underdog would be because I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. It's fun.
which is valid, but that's also, how upsets happen.
Did it ever happen, Zoe, that you voted for the underdog and then the underdog was ahead by like 30%?
yes. That in fact happened on, I voted for Barrelane against Matt because I had this image of like, Matt is like one of the main characters. He'll be way ahead. And then I was like, no.
Never
He
mind.
is such a fan favorite, like, and nobody thinks he's
Yeah.
hot apparently.
That's
Because
why I
this
was
is as
shocked.
far as
Hey, hey.
he's made it.
He made the
Delusion-
semis.
He did.
Yeah, but Illusion like kicked him out. the
Delusions is here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
only have a
his
semi
delusions
for him
loves.
though.
Exactly. That's how Senbui becomes mayor. We vote for the underdog because we don't want to lead to their defeat.
Let's
So
take
I
a
was
second. Go ahead.
going to vote for Lan. I really was. Even though Gus like said something about how the 90 people are always going to vote for Lan, and I was like, no, I will never do that. But then I was like, wait, I can't like let Gus make me not vote for Lan just because he said that, and I'm contrary.
Reverse psychology, yeah.
So I was going to vote for Lan, and then I read the comments, and someone called Berlin a trollop, and I like blacked out, and I came back and I voted for Berlin. So
There's no wrong reason to vote.
Yeah.
I
this is why I don't read the comments. I just
don't read the comments.
Spite is very important in the Grinwell Cup. We're learning spite is very important.
Let's.
apparently it is.
We cannot overlook the spite vote.
What I want to do is I want to look back at the journeys that these two have had to get here. I think this will be fun. Okay.
Yes.
So first things first is Lan went up against Rand, Tam, and Damon Dread. That was his prelim, which I thought was tough competition.
I did too.
Y'all did not think it was tough competition.
No, I was gonna say that is really easy. That's not even
because it was a 62%
Daddy Tam.
to him.
I honestly
did
thought
old
Tam
man
would
evil.
do better.
I did too. Tam is hot. Tam, I always say Tam's one of the hottest characters. But anyway,
Tam is a hottie in the body.
Tam is daddy, but like I don't mean that in a sexy way. He's just literally dad.
he's just father.
I
yeah.
want him to read me like a bedtime story to
Yeah.
my face.
How is that not hot? Like,
Zoe,
Not
I
to your
still
vagina,
thought I
to your
can't tell
face.
if
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
was
say.
supposed to your face.
Just my
Bedtime
face.
stories
not-
to
okay.
the face. Poetry goes somewhere else.
Right.
okay.
So Lan moved on from this. He went up against Elaine. That was called Sheathe the Sword. He went up against Elaine in It Could Be Warmer because both of them
Take a bath.
have
Big
baths.
yeah.
Almost the same percentage, 61%.
Jenny was so unimpressed with that poll title.
No, I was not unimpressed.
Yeah, they both take a bath. Yeah, we get it. Ali's like pretty funny.
I liked that one. I liked the name, but I was just
I like it more because Allie hasn't even like
I
gotten to
know,
the infamous
that-
bath yet. She just knows there's one.
I just have heard tell that Elaine takes the unbelievably longest bath, and I'm like, what? Robert Jordan spends an unbelievable amount of time on something boring? Stop.
no.
in Crossroads of Twilight.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Zoe, have you gotten to the bath yet?
No.
Have fun. Keep
Spoilers.
reading.
I was
There's a
just gonna
bath.
say.
I think that's the only thing I'm spoiled on.
That's
is
the
like,
first time I've been
is Elaine's got a
spoiled.
bath.
No, I'm
yeah.
sorry. There's
I'd
a
heard
bath.
about to be clear, I'd heard about Elaine's bath. This is
It
obviously like,
is
It is
lore.
legendary.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is legendary, yes.
From there, we go to It's Like a Rewarder. We talked about that, where he got rid of Moiraine and then Lyanna, and now he's here. And on Berelane's side of the bracket, Berelaine started in my favorite round title, Perrin's Peg Palace,
Yes.
up against Gaul, Aram, and Will Alcine. This was not remotely close, although Gaul did pretty well, and I'm happy for him.
yeah,
She moved on to Bombshells, where she went up against Eludra.
tough
which-
competition.
I thought so. You know, I mean,
I know I voted Eludra. I actually don't know who I voted for it because I don't find any of the other three really hot. So
Yeah.
I might have voted Barely.
I know I quote tweeted you with bomb or something goes boom once, so maybe this is
yeah.
where I voted for her.
I definitely voted for Eludra in this. one. But
someone-
the Eludra, I don't know.
someone said booms over boobs. I believe it might have been you.
Yeah.
And that was
No, I would never say anything over boobs.
This was 63-37, which shocked me because
Wow.
Eludra is
Eludra, yeah.
It was just popular. She did really well last year.
a
She did
perennial
really well
favorite.
last year.
A perennial favorite. She's knocked out Taviran before.
Mm.
And then again, Queens of Hearts against Nynaeve and Too Much Like Me, Like Matt. So both of them have quite impressive kill count
Yeah.
behind them. And now here they are in the grand finals. Are we ready to learn the victor?
Okay.
Right.
I feel
I
like
looked and I've already forgotten.
Wait,
So
we should all say who we think won.
Well, you know,
I
and I
know.
know,
Okay.
and Zoe knows.
Okay.
okay.
Bree, who do you think won?
I'm guessing Berelaine.
Okay.
Jenny, same.
I feel like I want it to be Lamb, but I feel like it's, you know, as much as the men were able to take half of the top, I don't think a man can win until we fix the patriarchy.
Yeah. Well, by a margin of 58.4 to 41.6%, which is the largest margin we've ever had in a final
Okay.
of 1,247 votes. Yes, indeed. Berelaine Serpendrag Perron
Okay.
moves into the
Pantheon.
Pantheon, which
it
means
does
she.
feel inevitable. Which means
It does.
Which means
I said to Gus, I thought it was her year, and Gus goes, "No, because the problems." And I was like, I feel this is what I said verbatim. I said, "No, we've gotten rid of all of the I'm not like other girls, and so now."
Yep.
Now I think Berlane will sweep to the end. I think that was what will happen. And low.
And
I am
correct.
Again,
Guess what-
lose.
I
There.
interrupted you, Gus. You were saying what Berlane now has rights to.
She's a member of the pantheon of the heroes of the horny, which means she is forever exempted from the cup. She will no longer compete. Yes, this did break our streak of going in alphabetical order because it went Avienda, Brigitte. We really wanted Caroline to win, but knew she wouldn't.
Yeah.
And this time it was.
Why did we know she wouldn't?
ABB. So next year,
miracles happen every day.
Yes,
Justice
indeed.
for
Next year,
Catswain.
Catswain was in here.
Justice
Next year,
for
we need another
Catswain.
A to win, so we can have ABBA.
I was thinking the same thing.
Al Mandragoran.
Yes.
Al Mandragoran.
Yeah.
Jenny's starting her campaigning this moment.
Yes.
Jenny both hates women and is going to take down the patriarchy.
Yes. By
Yeah,
voting
fair.
for a
This is
man.
a complex personality you've shown us tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Next year's Aram's year.
Or Aludra, yeah.
Oh God, Aram. Oh.
Aram, who I think is now tied for least amount of votes ever.
Oh yeah, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
with,
Aram
And
and
Gowan.
and Dane Bornhold now hold the record for least
24 votes in their polls.
And I'm like, and they both hold the record for least amount. Gawain would be joining them, Bree, if you had not started a campaign.
So here's a little fun data for you. Total votes received by our two finalists this year. Lan in second place with 3,258 votes across all his polls, and Berlane 3,546.
Wow.
So about 300 votes across. I think it's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 polls total. It was good. It was a good match this year, y'all. I mean, I really appreciate everyone who came out and voted and came out and had a good time in the streams. This is our Super Bowl, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
Here's my question. This is my Super Bowl. This is the best thing we do, in my opinion. This is my favorite thing. I am very passionate about the Grinwell Cup. I have already started next year's brackets, and they will
remain secret.
And they will remain secret. But my curiosity, because I realized I didn't put Millie Skane or Pavara on this year, and I've learned more about them since then. And I'm like, absolutely, will I not be repeating that mistake next year? But now that Berlane is out of the way, because this is kind of nice in a way, because I feel like a hard thing about setting up the brackets is the Lanfear, Gallad, Berlane of it all. Because anyone you put them next to, they're going to crush mightily in the first round. So you can't put them against anyone who is going to be like a walk, because then it's like that's a boring round. But you can't put them against anyone too powerful, otherwise your later rounds are so boring. So I'm glad to have her out of the way, and Lanfear's dead, so she's gone. So now we just have Gallad to worry about, and he has a personality problem. So
problem. You're saying these words. I don't think you know what you're saying. Not to gaslight you like Galad would.
I do think it is interesting that it took till year 3 for one of the canonically hottest people to win.
I mean, that was the whole reason for the beginning of the Grinwell Cup in the first place, wasn't it? Like just
this was our thesis.
The impetus was Jordan keeps going, well, this person is hot, but they're not as hot as this person, and everybody knows it. And we said, fuck
everybody agrees on that.
And I said, have you seen women? We are all out here being hot all the time.
Constant hot girl
shit. There is just hot girl shit every day. I'm seeing it.
My selfie rule would agree with you. My one of the bad things about before bed, I like to show my boyfriend my TikToks of the day. And the other day I accidentally went into my camera roll, and he's now obsessed with realizing that at least once or twice a day I take pictures of myself in a mirror going because I think I just look so hot. And he now almost every day will go, what'd you take today? And I'm like, nothing. And then opens my camera
Good for
roll.
you. That's great.
I love that you show your boyfriend your TikToks. Gus and I, every morning, like we're reading the paper, I will share the TikToks. He will watch the TikToks I sent him, and then I will watch the TikToks that he sent me. And that is our morning ritual every morning.
It's
We will
delightful.
watch.
You guys are the
video.
only people who send me TikToks, and I love it.
See,
Literally
I-
nobody else does. The first time it happened, I was like, "What's going on?"
What is
You
this?
share
Delusion sometimes
TikToks?
sends me some, but I mean, I'm so old. TikTok is just so loud. You turn it on and it starts talking to you, and it's just
Yeah, it's
I
aggressive.
need a break. I
I love
loud.
it. I love everything about
It
it.
is
It's
dopamine.
straight dopamine
Straight
into my
to the
brain
brain.
all the
Yep.
time.
I need
It
to
makes my brain go
ramp up to
smooth.
that. Yeah.
Makes my
Yeah.
brain go. "Vrr."
Well, thanks again. I want to take a moment to say thank you to our wonderful guests for joining us from all around the world
That's
tonight.
true, actually, yeah.
Super
We've
multinational.
Three
continents represented in this stream. If folks want to keep up with your doings, your public doings, where can they go? Bree.
You can find me on Twitter as mostly Bree, just with no space. For as long as it lasts. It may have collapsed by the time we end this live stream. I don't know. It's
Valid.
having a big day.
Yeah.
So
I've been off social media all day.
Oh, boy.
We'll talk.
Oh,
Yeah, so also if you would like to find my bookie things, you can find me at kitrosha.com. KITROCHA, and that is where I write books and yeah, just books, lots of books. And yeah, otherwise I ghost around. Sometimes I'm on Jenny's YouTube channel.
Mhm.
That's true.
So
That's
Jenny,
very
talk
true.
about your YouTube channel.
Oh yes, my YouTube channel. Oh, I changed my name. I was about to say it's here, but it's not. But LezbiNerdy is my YouTube channel, where I talk a lot about Wheel of Time and also the podcast Tar Valin After Dark. And then I am sometimes on the Grinwell Cup. And Ali and Olive. Well, Zoe, you haven't been on my YouTube channel, so I'm gonna have to work on that.
Anytime.
Yes, excellent.
and you're more in a time zone that
I was just
complements
gonna
each
say
other.
we could maybe
Yes.
have some easier communication.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
that
true.
so often. Ali will be like, "Did you see my message?" And I'm like, "I did not. I simply
Yes.
did not. It arrived to me at an unknown time, and I did not see it."
Very valid. Very valid.
Zoe, anything you want to promote?
Sure. I would say the best place to follow me is on my Instagram, which is at Captain Maltby, all one word. That's Maltby, MALTBY. And I do post on Twitter, but it's so shit posty. I have about 200 followers, and it's just straight from my brain and my vagina onto the screen. So you can join if you're into that. It's the same username at Captain Maltby, but I can't promise good content.
That
I mean,
is
that's why
that's
I
a selling
followed
point.
her.
What? That's
Yeah.
a selling point. What,
Yes.
I've only heard good things from that.
Yes,
hit.
that's not just
Actually, the advantage of following me is I'm a big tweet and deleter. Like, I really like to just tweet some garbage at 1 a.m. and then 5 minutes later be like, oh God. So if you follow me, you might get to see it before it gets deleted.
That's me. That's me. I tweet and delete all the time.
It's so freeing. It's liberating. And then my website is zoemaltby.com. You can see some of my work there. I'll be posting some more film stuff soon. And otherwise, that's it.
Yeah. It's almost 4 a.m.
It's
for
late.
you.
Yes.
So thanks again, everybody, for joining. Thank you for being a part of the Grinwell Cup. It means the world to us that all of you vote. And that's it. That's it. That's it for the year.
Who do you
We'll
think's
see
gonna
ya.
win next year?
Land could win. Land could win. I'd be
I
interested
think
in
the
seeing.
Prissy
see it.
poetry, that was a boost. That was a big boost. Everyone's going
Mhm.
to picture it now.
Everyone's
Be
going to
into
remember it.
Pavara, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
haven't
thank
seen
you.
the Pavara team yet, so
That's true.
let's
Mhm.
I'm
Pavara
looking
squad.
forward to
That's
it.
true.
So thank you all so very much for joining, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you next year. Bye.
Bye.